Hello friends, welcome to Salesforce Ceramics video session 51. So in today's video, we will just continue the compute expression part, which we have been doing in the earlier two session. Okay, so this will be the compute expression part 3. We will basically try to understand a few more scenarios, a few more syntax. Okay, so let me quickly jump back to this Analytics Studio. Let me go back to Data Manager. Then manage data flow. And let me open up the data flow, which I was doing, I think, which is this one, free session 6. Okay, so in this derived fields, okay, let me write this properly, fields. Let's do a few more expression. So we understood about this first 15, last 4 character I was doing in this way, right? Now there's another way to actually extract the ID. I will show you that. Okay, so let's say I want the last 3 character. Okay, last 3 character of ID. Okay, so last 3 character of ID. Here, what I'm going to write is substr. Now, just see over here. Let me open my notepad. So this particular ID, right? This particular ID which I have, okay. Now I can also extract from this position, okay. Instead of going from positive direction, I can also go backwards, right? From backwards, I can go 3 steps and I can extract the first 3 digit, okay. So there's a way to write for this substring, okay, which you can write something like ID, comma, fine. You can write -3, comma 3. Okay, so what does it mean? It basically means, like in the fourth, I already knew that, there after 15 digit, it was from the 15 digit, I will get the last 4 digit. Okay, from 15th position, 15, 16, 17, 18, 15, 16, that 4 digit, because I know that Salesforce has 18 digit ID. That's known to me. But what if, let's say, there is n number of digits, like there's a particular database where I don't know what is the number of digits which we have the ID, like it could be 20, 25, whatever, right? But if the condition is I have to extract certain number of digits from the end, that is the last 3, last 4, then probably this may not be a very suitable way, because you don't know the total number of digits. To put such expression, you need to know the total number of digits. Okay, but if you don't know it, what you can do, you can write something like this, which I have written over here, which is you are taking from the you are extracting from the last position. From the last position, you are taking towards third. So it's like from this position, from the last position, I'm going to the third position, and after that I'm extracting the from whichever position the mark is there, the next 3 characters are being extracted. Okay, that's how you can also write this ID -3, comma 3. Okay, that's it. Then after that, let's say I want to find the index of certain name. Okay, for example, here, if I just go to data export, let's say I want to find the index of this T. Okay, so I think I don't have capital T, if I'm not wrong. Let me check. Okay, I have a few capital T, I can see. Okay, so let's say I want to find the position of, I don't see much T actually. Instead of that, okay, I will write small t, that's fine. I think small t also won't make sense. Let me write capital M. Okay, so let's say I want to find the index of M. Okay, so what I'm going to do, let's say I want to find index of M in name. Okay, in that case, what I'm going to do, there's a function called index_of. Okay, so under this index_of, I want for name, from the name I want what is the index of that particular position, that is M. So this will be of numeric type, because it's showing me the index. Fine. Now I can give any precision or scale. Precision means the total number of digits. Scale means the digit after your decimal point. So let me give something like, I think this is fine. I can give something like 2, because maximum 2 digits are there. Okay, and I can click on save. This is written as index of. Okay, once I will execute the operation, I will explain you much properly. Fine. So last 3 character, index of M. And let's say over here, I see certain examples with test records, right? I see certain example with test records. Let's say I want to know if there are certain test records which are there or not. Fine. So I can write something like test records. Okay. And here I can write something like case when. Okay. So I'm taking the name. Fine. If my name, if I see any test records, it has to contain that word test. So I can write something like case when name matches test. Okay. Then yes, else no, and I'm going to end it. Okay. So case when my name matches test, then it will be yes, else it will be no, and it's going to end. So these are known as something like test record examples. Test record examples. I can write something like that. Fine. So I will just check if, for example, here I have one test record that is test. In that case, that field will show as yes. For others, it will show as no. That is the whole thing about this. Okay. Now, let's say I want to. So earlier we did something related to this amount, if you remember, right? So I have a field called expected revenue. Fine. So I will just show you what is a different way to write. There was one way where I have written something like this, right? Amount equal to Zen. Then I will show you a different version of this. Let's say if my expected revenue, okay, let's say if it is less than 10,000, okay, less than 10,000, I will simply mark it as low, okay. And let's say if it lies between 10,000 to 20,000, okay, I'm just going to mark it as medium, fine. And let's say if it is more than 20,000, then I'm going to mark it as high, okay. So now how we are going to write this expression? This is my condition, and I am just showing you this condition because the syntax which I'm going to write, although this condition is quite similar to this one, I agree with you, but the syntax written will be different over here. That's why I just took up this example. Fine. So firstly, what I'm going to do is I will just write expected revenue classification. Okay. Expected revenue classification. And here I'm going to write case when my expected revenue, right? Case when my expected revenue. So firstly, I will write less than 10,000. Okay. Then it will be low. Okay. Now, when my expected revenue, when this expected revenue, fine. When this expected revenue is in, I will write something like in, let's say in 10,000. Now, to mention that condition, right, to mention that range, we give two dots. Okay, always remember this. If you get three dots, probably it won't give you the proper result. Okay, so it has to be in two dots. If my expected revenue is 10,000 to 20,000, then it will be medium. Okay, else it will be high. Simple as that. Fine. And always ensure you end the statement with this end word. Okay. So this is text. Let me click on save. Fine. Now I will just ensure that my expected revenue has been selected, because if it doesn't get selected, then of course it will throw an error. Okay. And let me click on save. Fine. Now these are the few fields which I have created. So I have this substring where I'm extracting the last character of ID. I have shown you how we can write the syntax in a different manner, where the position I've from where I want to extract, I'm taking it from the backwards. Okay. And then of course, whatever number of digits are there, that will get extracted. Fine. That's one example. And similarly, I have this index of M where I will be knowing what is the index of M, that letter M. Fine. For example, if I just, or we will check it once for example, this one, it will be 1. Wherever I have this map and leaf, right? Map and leaf, if you see this one, this map and leaf, it will be first position, isn't it? That's what it will be mentioned over here. But let's see. And then I have this test record example where I will checking if I've created some test record examples from, like, for example, here you see these are some default names which I created, but I have manually created a few records where I've written this test. Okay, that's it. And you can try something like opportunity as well. Let's say if those are opportunity records specifically or not, you can write something like opportunity as well. That's up to you. And then I'm doing this classification. I have done this which is similar to the earlier one's amount, but here if you see the syntax written is a bit different. There I was doing less than. I mean, when this amount is there, we have to put then this one. Okay, then this one if it is less than, but here I'm mentioning the specific condition. What is the range of that? Okay, I have not written less than 20,000 right now over here. I have written in 10 that particular range. And that is also one way to write, and that's why I've taken up this example. So with that, now let me update and let's run the data flow, and then we will cross check the results very quickly. Okay. So let's monitor this. Okay, so this data flow failed. If you see, it's written over here that, we have missed something. Okay. So it's saying that we have missed the scale parameter. Fine. So what I will do is over here for this index of M, I will just mention the scale. Let me mention the scale as 0. Okay. It's compulsory to mention the precision and scale both. Although the scale is 0, you still have to mention it. Okay. So now let me update and run this once again. And now we will once again monitor this. Okay. Okay, now as you can see, this ran successfully. Now what I'm going to do is I will just come to this derived field lens which I created earlier. Okay, and now whatever new things which I've created today, I will just bring in those fields. So I will bring in the last three character test of M. Fine. So let me bring in the last three character. Fine, and then I have index of M test record example. So let me write index of M. Then test record examples. And finally, I have expected revenue classification. Okay. Let me click on apply. Now for this last three character, let me bring it somewhere at the top. Okay. So as you can see for the last three characters, fine, I'm getting this particular QA0, okay, QAK. So that's what I'm getting the last three character as I explained you the syntax. And then we have index of M. Okay. So let me check where the name is. So let me bring it in front of this name so that we can easily identify it. And now if you see here, okay, for this one, for M, I mean, we can, yeah, as you can see, so this M is in 17th position, right? Let's say if I put one filter, something with M, okay? Let's say I select name and I select something with like maple leaf. Just let me take an example, okay? Now here, if you see, the index of M is written as 1. That means that first position, if the capital M is in first position, it will write as index of 1, and that's how it will continue. Okay, just wanted to show you this example, how this index works. Fine, let me remove this filter. So I hope you understood wherever the position of capital M lies, because here it's very much case sensitive. Fine, if you are putting capital M, it has to be capital M. And of course, after that, we have the test record example. If I bring it before the name, okay, so whenever you see, wherever you don't see the test example records, there it will show up as, for example, if I put a filter on name right now, okay, and I put it as something like test, you will see it as yes. For example, let's say I select this three, fine. Then you're going to see the test record examples as yes, because these are all test record examples. Fine, that is something I just wanted to show you how this is working. And finally, we have this expected revenue classification. So for that, let me also bring in the expected amount, which is the expected revenue. Okay. So let me bring this over here. And as you can see, based on this expected revenue, fine, it's giving me that value. So if it is less than 10,000, as you can see here, it's coming as low. And let me see if there is any medium example. Yeah, this one is medium, right? I gave that range 10,000 to 20,000. That's why it's coming as medium. If it is more than 20,000, naturally it's coming as high. So yeah, these were a few more computer expression which I wanted to share with you. And yeah, please do like, share, and subscribe. And let's meet very soon in our next video. Thank you.